Hey guys, Devon752 here. Today I'm going to be talking about the Physical Blade Vortex that I've been playing for quite a bit now. So first I'm going to talk about the leveling uniques a little bit, then I'm going to go onto the build itself, all the while you're looking at the gameplay in the background. So I'm just going to get right into it. The first thing I want to recommend are the uniques you can use while leveling, and these of course include Life Spirit Wands, which you can use until you decide you want a shield. These wands are excellent for any spellcaster, and if you're just starting out they will help you immensely with clearing packs and bosses. Just make sure to socket your spells inside them. The next uniques are mostly a set I recommend for starting out, and they include Gold Rim for the resistances, Wanderlust for the movement speed, and Freeze immunity, Bated Breath for the energy shield, and last but not least Tabula Rasa for the damage and the utility. At level 28 you can use the Light of Lunaris shield, at level 45 you can use the Eclipse Solaris wand. Both of these uniques will give you decent damage and survivability. The last unique to consider while leveling is Solaris Lorica. I've used this one until I got Chefs because it walls off the chaos damage and I can focus on the energy shield items elsewhere. It's good for carrying your cast when damage taken setup. The only downside is it's a strength chest, so this means that you will probably be using a 4-link until you get your Chefs up and running with a 5-link. The upside is you can use low life to trigger Pain Attunement, so it can give you that slight damage boost you're gonna be needing with a 4-link. You can carry all of these recommended items until you feel the need for a boost. After that, start considering upgrading your gear. Next up, the upgrades for the gear and how the build should look like in the end. So, first things first, I'm gonna be talking a little bit about my gear. I'm gonna show you my auras, a little bit about the playstyle, and then I'm gonna show you the skill tree. So, we're just gonna get right into it. First things first is the weapon, of course. This is the Void Battery Prophecy wand. Why this one? It gives you +1 to max power charges. We're gonna be using a lot of power charges. So you get one here, you get one here, you get all of the other power charges, this one, this one, this one, and of course you get the juicy benefits for the power charges from this little tree. In any case, you just want to stack your power charges. That's why we're also using in our main setup power charge on critical, because it gives 4% more damage per power charge. 8 times 4, that's 32% more. When you're at max stacks, it gives you crit chance, you generate power charges for free, and it's overall pretty good. The next thing, and of course this Void Battery also amplifies all of the power charges, which is amazing, and gives you cast speed, which you're gonna need to cast this as quick as possible. Next thing is the shield. I'm using Light of Lunaris. Why this one? This one gives a lot of damage. It gives you that little bit of cold damage, which is great for shattering stuff, especially porcupines. Porcupines are basically the bane of your existence, but this shield also gives you like 33% chance to block, and for every percent of block chance you get crit multi, which is excellent. And of course you get some critical strike multiplier if you've dealt a non-critical strike recently, which you're gonna be doing, because your critical strike is not going to be 100%. It's going to be something like 60 when you activate your diamond. It doesn't display here, but yeah, that's gonna be that. It's gonna be actually much more. It's gonna be like 80% because of the power charges, but it doesn't matter. You're still gonna be doing those non-crits, and this is going to give you just what, above 55% crit multi, which is amazing. Crit chance for spells, also amazing. 33% block, some cold spell damage, overall an amazing shield. You can substitute this with a good energy shield. You can get like 350 energy shield on a shield, but then you're not gonna be getting the benefits of the damage, which I prefer. But it's up to you. You can use a rare one as well. Same goes for the wand, but I think this one is the best in slot. Heretic's Veil, of course, for our curses. I'm using Enlighten. I placed my Zealotry here just to get the benefit from the Enlighten. Enfeeble and Assassin's Mark. Enfeeble and Assassin's Mark. Enfeeble is mostly because you're gonna be having a little bit of energy shield. You're not gonna have like 9k, as is like the preferred thing, but that's why we have Enfeeble, just to make those enemies that come close to you much less lethal. And the Assassin's Mark, of course, because we're using crits and stuff like that. It's excellent. Zealotry. This is actually pretty good because it creates consecrated ground when you hit a rare or unique enemy. So while you're killing a boss standing right next to it, you're gonna be standing on consecrated ground. and this is going to give you the regeneration benefit because we're taking Zealot Soul. Okay, what's next? Oh yeah, I didn't show the links here, so in the shield we have Discipline, we have Flesh and Stone, and Blood Magic. So this is linked to Blood Magic, which of course procs your low life, aka Pain Attunement, 30% more spell damage while on low life. So basically you get 2 extra auras, Flesh and Stone and Discipline, extra physical damage, extra energy shield, plus it procs this one for 30% more spell damage. And that's why we are going low life basically, and that's why we're using Chevron's wrappings, of course. In Chevs you're gonna be placing your main main skill. I suggest you get a 2120 at least Val Blade Vortex. Why do you want a Val Blade Vortex? Just because you're getting an extra 6 link. So while you're fighting a while you're fighting a boss, like Cirrus for example, you're gonna be getting the charges while you're killing the phases, and in the last phase you're gonna get your Val Blade Vortex up, and you're gonna get your Val Discipline up, and then you have some kind of ultimates, let's say, to get that last phase as fast as possible. By the way, this Val Blade Vortex is going to be, if you deck the build out like I did, is going to be dealing like 1.5 million DPS along with your 2.6 regular DPS. That's going to be a lot for the last phase in the Awakener or wherever, as long as you save your flasks, of course. But yeah, the main setup is Blade Vortex, Val Blade Vortex, Arcane Surge, Control Destruction, Critical Damage Support, Concentrated Effect, and Power Charge on Critical. Next up, boots, regular Energy Shield boots. I went with Movement Speed because why not, but honestly you're gonna be moving mostly with your Flame Dash, but if you think you could use Movement Speed, I think it's pretty useful. You can get some on boots like I did. Resistances, all the good stuff. And let's see, Crystal Belt. This is just a lot of energy shield, some strength. So you're going to be needing some attributes. Let me just show you. So you're going to be needing dexterity, you're going to be needing strength. And we're taking both of these. And this is not enough. So we're getting some strength on belt. We're getting some strength and dexterity on one of the rings. This one. And this one is going to give you 16 as well. But yeah. That's so much about the belt. The gloves, regular energy shield gloves as much as you can. Of course, if you want, you can get the fingerless silk gloves for the spell damage. Get resistances. As you can see, I put some dexterity here. I'm not sure if I needed it. I think it's like a little bit too much. Let's see. Oh no, I guess I need it. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, we're gonna be needing some stats. So I got some stats here. So 30 dex here, 20 strength here, and what was it? A lot of it over here. That's kind of iffy at the start, but you're gonna just sacrifice a little bit of energy shield and stuff like that just to get the stats up and running, and then afterwards you can just save for better ones like I did. Here I'm using my cast when damage taken setup, nothing too special. Immortal Call, cast when damage taken, duration, and Lightning Golem for that cast speed. Cast speed is pretty important in Blade Vortex builds. So that's about those. Amulet, Presence of Chiula. This is of course the best in slot. Definitely, because it gives you a lot of energy shield. See that, like from 6k to 7.2k. Gives you a lot of chaos resistance. Attributes, which you need as well. And I allocated Tranquility, which is Transfiguration of Soul. Transfiguration of Soul, as you can see, it gives you increases and reductions to maximum energy shield, also apply to spell damage at 30% value. So every single node that you took for energy shield is also going to be giving you some damage. And that stacks up quite a bit and gives you quite a bit of damage. And it gives you a little bit of energy shield by itself as well. So this one is the best in anointment. The rings, I showed this one. A lot of stats, a lot of attributes. Just because you need them. Some mana regen, because I think mana regen is pretty good on this build. You're gonna be lacking it, but more on that in a second. The other ring, some spell damage to lightning damage to spells, and a lot of energy shield. And that's basically that about the gear. So let me just show you a little bit of. So let me just show you the flasks. At City's Promise, I could have gotten a better one here. You want 20% of physical damage as extra chaos damage, but whatever, it is what it is. So at City's Promise, Diamond Flask, of course, anti-bleed. You need anti-bleed. And this one is really important. So without this, you're not going to be able to cast your Blade Vortex. It needs to be an Enduring Eternal Mana Flask, okay? So first off, why Eternal, not Divine? So Divine lasts for, I think, 3 or 4 seconds, which is quite short, and you want it to last as long as possible. Since it's going to be an Enduring Flask, the Flask effect is not going to be removed at full mana. So let me just show you. So if you're casting normally, you run out of mana really fast. But if you use your Flask, now you can just keep casting as much as you want, as long as it lasts. Okay? Once it disappears, just once again. And you do this and keep casting. And this, by the way, enables you to run no region maps, less recovery maps, anything. Like, this flask is just best in slot. So yeah, definitely make sure to have this one, and make sure to place removes curses on this one. I would recommend this one, because you're gonna be immune to curses as long as it lasts, and if you're mapping, it's gonna be lasting forever, basically. So yeah. And this is why you want to have some mana regen in reserve, and that's why you want to have your... Where is it? Flame Dash? Where's my Flame Dash? Okay, so yeah, my Flame Dash is here. Flame Dash setup. Faster casting, Arcane Surge, Calling Strike. Why Arcane Surge level 7? Because while you're moving around like this, you want it to proc, so you have that mana regen. You don't need a mana flask to travel then. So as you can see, like, this is free of charge, because I got that mana regen from Arcane Surge, and it's just decent as fuck. And plus it's going to save you if you ever run out of this mana flask while you're on a boss. You can still maintain most of the charges on the Blade Vortex, as you can see there, even without the mana flask. So yeah, that's my recommendation. And if you want, you can also replace this one on a boss and have 2 mana flasks, just in case. But yeah, the last one is Freeze. Well, the second last one, Immunity to Freeze, Quicksilver. This could be something better. This could be, let's say, Sulfur Flask, since you benefit from the Consecrated Ground. This could be Sulfur. I was thinking about it. This is 40% increased damage as well then. That's gonna be like 5% more, something like that. So you can put a Sulfur here, but also make sure you have Anti-Freeze. And since Rebirth just gives you 10% more damage as Chaos. And that's that about the gear. The playstyle I already showed you a little bit. So you Flame Dash, you get your Arcane Surge, you don't need to use any flasks while you're running. But if you get into a pack, you just press your mana flask, you get your charges up and running, get them along the way. You can just click them a little bit, and that's that. You basically clear maps like crazy, but you already saw the gameplay. It's pretty straightforward. That's that, and a little bit about the skill tree. So you saw some of it. We go for Pain Attunement, we go for Ghost Reaver. This is really important, because it's going to give you a lot of leech, energy shield leech. It's going to be like 1.9k energy shield leech per second. That's a lot of leech, and that's going to be most of your sustain. You're also going to be getting the Consecrated Ground constantly. You can place Sulfur Flask here, as I said. That's going to be Consecrated Ground. Then the Zealotry is also going to give you Consecrated Ground, and stuff like that is going to give you, I think, 500 more energy shield regen. And so you're gonna have a lot of energy shield regen along the maps. When paired with this one as well, this gives you even more energy shield regen. So the sustain is really there. You can sustain a lot. Went for some cast speed here. Skill duration, this one you need, just so your Blade Vortex lasts as much as possible. So with this, it lasts 7.25 seconds, which is sufficient for most of the shit that you're going to be doing. And the jewel is this, pretty straightforward, rare. I got lucky, got some fire resistance as well. The other one is Energy from Within, of course here, so you can benefit from these nodes. And the stat nodes, of course, these are important. Everything else is, this is for the leech, to improve your leech. And yeah, all of the power charges. And that's basically all there is to it. Oh yeah, and the mana reservation nodes, of course. So you need all of these mana reservation nodes and this one, so you can run all of your auras. Make sure also that your blood magic is at least level 19, I think, or maybe even 20. Otherwise you're not gonna be able to run all of the auras that I'm running. And yeah, that's basically that. So these are all the auras. Make sure to run your flesh and stone always in blood stance, always, because that's 16% more. The other one is not that necessary. Like they're just blinded, I think. I mean, you can use it when you're running maps. Like this is defensive. It's not that bad. And that's that, basically. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.